Hold up, why all need to hear about this? Because Diddy just made headlines after reportedly getting arrested. Allegations have surfaced suggesting that he was involved in serious misconduct, involving inappropriate gatherings with young individuals. According to reports, the authorities have found multiple tapes that are said to contain disturbing content, even worse than what Cassie previously described in her lawsuit. What's shocking is that several celebrities were reportedly found in these tapes as well, with rumors circulating that one of them might be Jay-Z. Now, Diddy is allegedly pressuring these individuals to help him out of his legal troubles, threatening to expose everything if they don't comply. If Diddy does end up being sentenced, it's said that some powerful people might not want him to talk, as he knows a lot. Jay-Z could be in for a legal battle, as Diddy has reportedly gathered a lot of information over the years and isn't staying quiet. The arrest reportedly took place in New York on Monday night, where Homeland Security agents detained Diddy at a Midtown hotel. Some reports even suggest that large quantities of items were seized from his home, pointing to more troubling accusations. Women allegedly endured severe mistreatment, with some requiring medical attention afterward. These tapes, allegedly kept by Diddy, were said to be used to exert control over his victims.
Seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large-capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs. More than 1,000 bottles altogether.
Not only that, but as we speak, the case is still actively developing, and apparently the arrest was made as a result of the things that they found during the raids of his houses a few months ago. If we all remember, Homeland Security unexpectedly raided Diddy's properties across the US, and in several video footages from that day, they could be seen arresting his sons, Justin and Christian, and also leaving the property with tons of evidence. In a recent press conference, the feds revealed that they have multiple phone call recordings that Diddy and his entourage made to his victims, trying to bribe them into either staying silent or changing their statements about what he did to them so he could get away with his crimes.
In late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs' crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced. And as alleged, Combs used others to help conceal his.
Diddy's indictment also revealed that he allegedly flew in tons of workers into the US and forced them to participate in his freak-offs with his friends, victims, and others. These freak-offs would last for hours, and one of these so-called friends that he was doing these nasty things with was allegedly none other than Jay-Z. Jay and Diddy used to be very close friends for years, and at some point, Diddy even referred to Jay as his brother from another mother. Diddy said in an interview that there are only 2 people allowed to call him by his government name, and that's Jay-Z and his mom. However, since Diddy got busted, Jay has been trying to distance himself, but many people, especially Jaguar Wright, have made sure we don't forget about Jay's affiliations with Diddy.
Sean Carter is worse.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
This been lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 years. He's worse. I think the TPD trial has the potential to force Sean Combs to finally be honest about some things that he hasn't been honest about, which could create great leverage for knocking that big lip camel face back into the oblivion in the depths of hell where he came from.
When Jaguar said this person could not help but defend everything she was saying because Jay has a history of doing prat things that are just as questionable as the things that Diddy was doing, but for some reason everyone conveniently looked the other way and just allowed him to get away with it. For starters, there was word going around back in the day Jay was in a predatory relationship with then 15-year-old Foxy Brown, allegedly convinced her to date him by promising her a career in Hollywood, but once he was done using her, he pushed her off into the industry to silence her and then went on to completely blackball her.
Suge Knight speaks out, and what Suge said really stood out to me. Suge said, the raids wasn't about Diddy. It wasn't about Diddy, and it makes sense. They was about what it was about when you listen to the court transcripts and when you listen to what the witness, Little Rodney or whatever his name is, the allegations. Diddy had cameras, hidden cameras in every room, in every party, at every event, which means that he had evidence on powerful men. With Suge Knight, he hit him in the head with the headshot. Diddy had a get out of jail free card, which is blackmail. He can blackmail some of the most powerful men around the world. Even the ones that he was fighting with in them liquor corporations and companies. So what they do, you got to understand, they send in their army. They made a statement, turned his family upside down, turned his house upside down. But the only thing I'm thinking is, like, when you sit back and you really, really analyze it, somebody put Diddy on point to what was going on. That's why his plane that everybody thought he was on that plane. They was looking for that plane. That plane left without Diddy. And 9 times out of 10, that plane probably was carrying the evidence to convict all these powerful men that Diddy's beefing with. Because Diddy, like, he need no brown right now. I ain't going down by myself. But if they catch that evidence, he ain't got nobody else to point the finger at. He can't prove it.
We was at the end of the club video shoot, Game 50, everybody was there. I just heard somebody say, Suge Knight's here. And I looked and Suge was there. And but he had some essays with him though. You know what I'm saying? He all essays. And he looked at Fifth and Fifth was like, what's up? What's up? And Suge just like, he hit a cigar one time and then he did like this little shit like that, wrap it up, and then everybody just turned around and left. It was like a John Wayne movie or some shit.
This was seemingly confirmed by Jay's ex-best friend, Dame Dash, who got super defensive when he was asked about it. He didn't deny it, but he definitely said he was in no place to speak about it, and that Jay should be asked since he was the one taking advantage of Foxy.
So I talked to the big homie, he was saying to Jay, he was telling me, you know, the white boy wouldn't do the truth without 50. Mm-hmm. Right? And I'm like, that's when I start saying crazy stuff, because I look and I go, oh, that's your big homie, right? And so he imaged himself after a gay painter. The big homie want to look like a gay painter.
What are we talking about here?
We're talking about Basquiat. He wants to look like a gay painter.
Oh my God, I think I know where we're going with
so
this.
Now look, what I'm saying to you is, look, when you start looking at, that's not mine, that's theirs, they Harper, right? But when you look at, M is looking at the entire legacy.
Yeah.
The whole thing, like with M, Dre, and myself, like I'm a shady aftermath. You see what I'm saying? Like, it do so much G-Unit Records.
Right.
They forget that I'm M and Dre's artist. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Like, but that's just the way it was. Like,
were you a part of it? Even like you say, you weren't on the ad, right?
Yeah.
When we saw the initial asset that came out, and you weren't on there, but were you already a part of it?
No, I already had communications with Paul about going to do it, but the ad was coming out that already was shot with.
Okay, gotcha.
With him and everybody else in it. So I'm like, nah, cool, I'll be surprised. Like, it's cool to be surprised.
Right. Yeah, I was surprised too. I remember at rehearsal, I was like, man, what the hell?
I won $20.
Right.
Yeah, me and Louis betted against it, and I was like, 50's going to show up, watch.
When nobody, like when I reach out, because I want to see what the complications are, when nobody has any information about it, and it only came from that angle, I have to believe that was something that's from that.
Did you and JayZ ever have a conversation, or y'all in different offices as far as like?
We don't need to talk about nothing.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Now, even though Dame was hesitant about speaking on Jay and Foxy, he did not hold back from spilling all the tea about Jay's disturbing relationship with Aaliyah. According to Dame, Jay went behind his back to aggressively try to get Aaliyah to be his girlfriend, but he wasn't interested at all. He was allegedly even inviting her to his parents' house in a desperate attempt to get her into a relationship with him. However, Aaliyah also had eyes for Dame, and as you can already imagine, Jay did not handle this rejection well.
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
JayZ is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit different. He lined up D Haven
stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
This is quite a situation, but that wasn't all the surprising things that JayZ was involved in. Dame said he had to cut ties with Jay after realizing Jay was willing to do anything for power, even at the expense of others in the industry. Now, if you're wondering why Dame was saying this, it's because at the time R. Kelly faced serious allegations. Jay was still supporting him and even collaborated with him, showing little concern for the victims. It gets more complicated because when Aaliyah passed away in a tragic plane crash, there were rumors that her death was part of something larger, involving some industry figures. These rumors intensified when details about her final moments were released. It turned out Aaliyah was not even supposed to be on that plane that day and had been given a sedative without her consent.
You know, nobody acknowledged what was going on between her and Mr. Carter.
Because she was 15.
She was 15, and everybody knew it. Naive girl. I'm not saying that she wasn't a city girl, but a 14-year-old girl mentally cannot contend with a 28, 29-year-old man. Period. Discards people and tries to erase them like they never exist so he doesn't have to see them or deal with what he's done with people. You know, I blame a lot of what happened to Ingemar Shine on his reckless adult choices for a very, very, very underage girl. But you hear that story a lot.
Unfortunately, Aaliyah and Foxy were not the only women who were alleged victims of JayZ, because there's also his rumored pregnant mistress, Kathy White, whom he reportedly unalived after she threatened to go public about their secret affair. At the time of Kathy's mysterious death, it was also reported that she had died from a brain aneurysm, but of course this was just a load of BS to hide the truth. The crazy thing is, everybody bought this brain aneurysm story, but the popular blogger Hollywood Street King was on a whole different type of time. He took it upon himself to do his own investigation, and girl, he did his big one. He managed to get in contact with one of the NYPD officers who was involved in investigating Kathy's death, and this officer sang like a bird, baby.
I dare one of you niggas scream out no Diddy. Bro, blow with me. Baddies, they ready to go with me. I just nod and they know to go get them. Might see me with some pretty with me, but ain't no ho with me. I just laid back in that Virgil Maybach. Like 450. Police raid the crib like they think we selling crack. But we out here selling tracks. Multi-million-dollar plaques. Rather put the whack. All that gossip back. When all they had was 50 Cent. Who put this city on the map? Stop lying. Pops been hated on by many men. And nigga, that's fine. They gon' try to stop these Eminems. And they gon' run. Pull up to the south side. We locked in, we got ties. Don't give a on no blogs, cause we really
Hollywood
outside.
Street King posted an article about what he found out from this officer and several other people he spoke to, and I'm going to read every word of this article to y'all. The day before yesterday, I got the news that Kathy and Michelle White had suddenly passed away, so I quickly began my investigation. And guess what? Kathy did not die from a brain aneurysm, as widely reported around the internet. According to an NYPD detective who told me Kathy's cause of death is uncertain, and later today we will have the autopsy and toxicology reports. Right now, the death is considered suspicious.
For you to put all of the heat right back, then you got the nerve to be speaking to the feds in the song. House next door is the one with all the shit. Y'all ain't even know that was ours. Y'all raided the wrong house. Yo, even if that's a lie, that's a bad lie to tell.
This record, it said he was dissing 50 Cent. He mentions 50 Cent in the record.
I didn't hear the 50 Cent diss.
He says many men hated on me. Do we have that part?
I didn't hear him dissing 50 Cent, but what I did hear him, I heard him taunting the FBI.
Right.
Do we have that part?
Well, before you do that, let me get to that. Well, he did mention 50's name and said many men hated on him. And he said, 50 Cent said, I feel so threatened by the things Christian is saying on this record. I'm afraid for my life. Please don't hurt me, guys. I never mentioned or posted anything about puffy kids. Because Keefe D said he killed Tupac, laugh out loud. So that was 50 Cent's response.
And see, that's the other thing, right? It's been really quiet about the Diddy situation, right? Like, it's like the Drake and the Kendrick and all that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He took so why stir all of this back up by putting out a record that none of us needed?
Well,
nobody needs.
And do I all remember the time that Kanye literally exposed Jay for having un-Olivers in his camp? Kanye might tell a joke, but he never tells a lie.
Really outside.
Moves you just ever seen in life. Boy, I can't understand this for anything. Or one of the biggest rap beefs we've ever had. And one of those winners was Puff. Everybody
forgot all about it.
Yep. It certainly we're not speaking about this anymore.
They were distracted, if anything.
Yeah, but for me, I do. Your name being some bullshit, you be home helpless. Come on, next story.
Exactly.
Come on, next story. I know it's coming. Somebody doing something out there today. Come on, get me out of this mix. And then Kendrick and Drake start beefing.
And it lasted
like 2 months.
That's like when we go to jail in Monopoly and stay.
Let y'all go fuck
Let
up.
them fight it out.
Each other. Yeah.
So that's what was happening. Beef is in the air,
It is.
and beef is contagious. It's everybody 1v20, 20v1 to and that. So now, of course, King Combs has a diss track to 50 Cent. I feel like if Puff heard this, he would have stopped this. I didn't even have the time to tell y'all what's wrong with that sentence. You wait till the Kendrick and Drake shit is over.
But now I want to know your thoughts. What do I all think about Jay-Z's alleged involvement in Diddy's crimes? And do I all think Diddy will expose Jay-Z? Why all been knew what to do? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.